In the hush between storm and structure, the fig vines changed purpose. What once sprawled wild across the valley floor began to weave itself upward, first into huts, soft, breathing homes that flexed with the pulses of the proto-quantum basin, then into spirals, then into towers. What had only offered survival now offered shelter, civilization, and a pulse of sacred resonance. The survivors learned to braid vines in silence, guided not by rulers or codes, but by the memory of the valley itself. The fig huts grew warm, humming in tune with the earth's frequency, shifting to protect their occupants as dimensional storms rolled above. Shelter was no longer static. It was alive. But not everyone wove with reverence. In a surge of ambition, and Todd's whispered encouragement, some attempted to push the vines further. They whispered commands into the soil, and the vines listened. Homes uprooted themselves and began wandering. Entire hut villages migrated, colliding, spinning, and in one infamous moment, racing each other down a slope while survivors clung to the roofs. Todd crowned himself Grand Marshal of the Great Fig Migration Festival. There were rodeos, there were vine chases, there were 3 vine collapses caused by someone yelling "Yeehaw" at the wrong resonance. Still, from this chaos, clarity returned. 12 fig trees, planted in precision around the Ark basin, grew into columns. Guided by star maps and sacred geometry, survivors coaxed them upward in spiral harmony. Light songs wrapped the trunks, braided vines formed bridges. As they grew, the valley settled, gravitational echoes stabilized, the Ark's inner web began to form, and then, in the center, Noah's barn bloomed. It was no barn in the traditional sense. It was a cathedral of promise. Columns and vines, living and humming, wrapped around sacred artifacts, preserved seeds, memory stones, and quantum scrolls. It breathed. It pulsed. It sang. Todd hosted the dedication. Standing atop a leaf rafter in ceremonial overalls, he released flying fruit that looped back in on themselves. One echo of the barn briefly reappeared in the past. Another predicted the exact moment a fig would fall. Laughter echoed through the valley. And then quiet, because the barn was finished, not as an end, but as the beginning of the arc within.
Science Prophets of the Arkstone Timeline by Nada Stroll. Read free on Amazon now.
And thus, the promise is not in the past, but in the playback. This has been Ark of Promises, where the timelines twist, the oaths echo, and the covenants sometimes moonwalk into paradox. If today's revelations felt like divine déjà vu, or cosmic déjà heard, good. That means your soul is still entangled with the storyline. Before you return to your regularly scheduled dimension, don't forget, follow us, unless you prefer getting lost in your own multiversal garden. Like this podcast, because algorithms are the new prophets. Subscribe so you're first in line for the next ripple through the resurrection lattice. And most importantly, share this with your temporal neighbor before they realign out of phase. This is Sidoni Nukumato, Time Lord in exile, narrator in defiance, reminding you the arc never ends. It just reloads the next scene. Until next time, stay aligned, stay anomalous, and remember, even broken promises leave quantum breadcrumbs. Roll the starlight outro.